Dear devotees and friends, from today I will start one series that is Hinduism, the Three Golden Paths. Mainly the Hinduism, but the approaches are different over that. But today is the introduction, and I like to begin with a prayer, and I would love if you can please join with me. Please repeat after me. Sarva dharma sthapakastam sarva dharma sarupakaha acharyanam mahacharyo Ramakrishna yati namaha. We bow down to that great Acharya, the great teacher, who is the embodiment of all different religions and all different paths. So friends, the humanity, when slowly it is growing up, obviously it needed a support, a guideline. How should be the human society? As when a country comes, they start with a constitution. And similarly, when an office is coming, maybe at the mercantile, maybe a business house, they will have some rules and regulations. Otherwise, nothing can move. So obviously, the human society needed that. But in the beginning, when there was no such society as that way, then what happened? We do not know. In the Bhagavad, it says that the creation started with the God, and the God was supreme being. So he created one being, that is Brahma, and that Brahma started creation. That is in the Bhagavad. Bhagavad usually is a dualistic. Then what is this? Who created Brahma? That supreme being. And why the supreme being himself is not creating? The philosophy afterwards, they will explain, because the moment you are going to create something, you have to use your power. And when you are using the power, you are discriminating. Good, bad, and all that. The moment you are doing that, you come under the rule of destruction. So Supreme Being is above all that. When the Supreme Being is above, that is the way only it is possible. We will come to know slowly why it should be above all activities. Though out of it is coming. But anyway, when the first creation started, Brahma, the Supreme Being, gave him the knowledge and also the power. What is that knowledge? Now the Hindus will say Veda. Veda means knowledge. Veda means knowledge. And Brahma got that knowledge from that Supreme Being. And also, only knowledge won't do, power. And what is that power? Three powers. Sattva, Raja, and Tama. Three qualities. And with these three qualities, permutation, combination, all these things were going on. And Brahma used those things. And he started creating out of his mind the 12 rishis. Again, this is Bhagavata. First 12 rishis came. And in the 12 rishis, the very famous rishis, when they were created, it was not like the birth that we see. It was just creation. The moment they were created, they were having the full knowledge, and they thanked the Father, and they went for meditation again. Right after the birth. They were not having the mother, they were not having the father, they were just created like that, out of the mind. Brahma just thought and then. And when the Brahma was thinking, obviously it is all purity, all sattva. So this first. Then Brahma started thinking, but the God has asked me to start the whole program that there will be different type of people, different type of animals, different type of the whole creation. So I have to meditate properly, I have to think properly. So he was again going back, he was again thinking, and then came another 4 brothers at a time. They were created. So they are Sanat Kumar, Sanatan, Sananda, like that 4 son brothers. They also bowed down to the Creator and they said, we are going for meditation. Then when that happened, Brahma started thinking, oh my God, what is happening? When I am creating them, asking them to do something for me, but they are not listening. They are all going for meditation. Why this is happening? Then he again created, they say it this time Narada. But Narada told, no, I am not going to marry at all. Because marriage means I will have to have some responsibility and I will forget to take the name of Lord. I cannot do that. This time, Brahma became very angry and he cursed him. So if you are not listening to me, then you will have to go on rounding only. You cannot stay anywhere. That is okay, but I am not going to. So like that, Narada also left. Then afterwards, the Brahma started crying. He said, what is happening? I cannot create properly. God has given me that. Then the God told, hey, you are using only Sattva Guna. Mix with Raja. Then only you will find this type of result. So he mixed the Rajas and the Prajapati was created. And after the Prajapati, they started, okay, you want me to rule this world, but whom I am going to rule? Where are people? So you have to give me. So Brahma then mixing the Tamaguna. The first generation was Sattva Guna. Then long afterwards, Sattva and Raja. And then when the Tamaguna started mixing, it was uncontrollable. The Brahma became afraid. Oh my God, what will happen? And I must have done something mistake because the powers are manifesting because of the Tamaguna. Not only the animals, but also the human form, but they were terrible people. The Brahma, he became very afraid. Again he ran to the Supreme Being and told, I think I made a mistake. Can you please control it? It is beyond my control. And then he said, now, I think you won't be able to do it. I have to go. So he said, then I will incarnate and I will guide these people. The first generation was Sattva Yuga. They divided in 4 yugas, Satya, Treta, Dwapar, Kali. And Satya Yuga, it was all pure. So no problem. Everybody was meditating, everybody was very calm, quiet life. Everything was normal. So no rules, regulations necessary. Treta Yuga, when it came, a little bit of mixture of Raja and Sattva. So the Sri Ramachandra was there. At the same time, Ravana was also there. The Ravana was having lot of knowledge, but ego. And like that, different characters in different places, So the Lord himself took the form of Sri Ramachandra and he divided that power between the other three brothers. So Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrughna, they came, and Rama's power as Sita came, and they made a beautiful story that if you are doing like this, then you will be punished, and terribly punished. So if you are abducting others' wives, we will kill you. So that the whole story, the Ramayana, that came, and we learned slowly. And Ramachandra started telling, this should be the rules. The relation between two brothers, and how they will respect the other ladies of the family. All slowly, these rules started. So that was the contribution of the Lord as Sri Ramachandra. So this happened. Now, how this Hinduism came, this we all know. Then afterwards, Lord Krishna came. That time we know it is almost the 75% bad people, and hardly 15% good people. But majority of the people were bad at the time of Sri Krishna. And they have a list of names, In the Mahabharata, the huge list is there. All these people, they were terrible people. But they were practicing meditation. They were worshipping God. They were performing yajnas. They were doing everything. But what was wrong? Ego. Each and every one wanted to have all that. So me. Me and mine became terrible. So it is Krishna who came. And then another thing that the Lord Krishna wanted to teach us, that in the human form, in the human body, Lord's power can be there. Avatara. Some people, they don't understand, and some people made some mistakes. Even the Dvaitin, we will come to that. Even the founder of the dualist, we can say, he also made that mistake because some reason, personal reason. So this is, sometimes it happens. So the Lord Krishna's contribution was to teach us that God doesn't live over there in the heaven. God can be in the human form also. In short, these are the way things are coming. And in the Kali Yuga, it is very fast, but at the same time, very selfish. The Kali Yuga, the present age, is very fast. Knowledge, unthinkable. 50 years, 100 years before, we couldn't think that I'm standing over here giving a talk in Chicago, and all over the world people can watch me, hear me. It was impossible. Now it is nothing. Here in Chicago, Swami Vivekananda gave the talk. Had there been this system, think of it, how the effect would have been. But anyway, this knowledge is spreading everywhere, but at the same time, selfishness, it is inside each and everyone so deep. And that is the reason the families are breaking, societies are breaking, and there is no peace at all anywhere. And this problem is coming because of this selfishness. Now, telling this, the picture that before us, we are in this Kali Yuga, we are living in the Kali Yuga, but at the same time we are swimming against the current. We are trying to be unselfish. What is spiritual life? Nothing but to become unselfish. What is spirituality? Nothing but to become unselfish. People, they talk about lot about the spirituality, and they mix up the mysticism with the spirituality. There's nothing to do. Mysticism is just a part of it. It may or may not come. But the spirituality is a complete transformation from the selfishness to unselfishness. So Swami Vivekananda said, religion is a process that makes a brute unto man, man unto God. We must remember this. Religion is a process that makes a brute, a selfish person, a person who only lives for himself or herself. That person is coming in touch with the religion, is becoming a very good person. And then slowly he is becoming God, or she is becoming goddess. How it is possible? Because religion is giving you the knowledge. What is that knowledge? Negative way, this world is nothing. And positive way, you are everything. You are the center. When you are looking at this in your own way, you look in that way. And if you look in a different way, completely different way. Some people, they will be standing before this gate, door. They will look at that symbol that we have painted over there. Is it possible? Bogus, they will say. All religions same? Bogus. And they will go away. Some people standing over there looking at it, oh, this is a unique idea. All religion can be the same. These are only the paths leading to the same goal. This is unique. Look at it. So why it is different? Because your idea, because your conception, because your maturity, immaturity, that gives you the whole idea. So it all depends on individual. What the religion can do, it can give you the conception, ideas, teachings. But you have to practice it. And when you are slowly feeling that I am changing for the better. Previously, I used to think I will never share. Now I feel, no, I should. Because when I was in distress, so many people came forward to help me. So now I should help them. So this is the way you are thinking. This is a positive way of thinking. That means you are developing. Friends, how Hinduism came into existence. First, the name is we do not know where from the name came. Hinduism. There is no such word as Hindu in the Veda. Where from the Hinduism came? Swami Vivekananda said, and he was a very good student of history, he said that a group of people, when they used to come from Iran, Persian land, and they used to cross the Sindh river, and they could not pronounce properly the Sindh, so they pronounced it as Hind. The Sa became Ha. The Sindhu river, which is still there, it has become the Hindu. So Hindu river and the land after the other bank of the river became Hindustan. Swami Vivekananda mentioned, and some other people also supported that. The whole Hindustan, stan means the place. So Hindustan, so philosophy of that, Hinduism, and people living over there are Hindus. So this is the way the word came. But actually, it is the Hindu means it should be Sanatana Dharma. In the beginning, is a Sanatana Dharma or Vaidika Dharma. Swami Vivekananda preferred this name, Vaidika Dharma. Why? It is based on Veda. What is Veda? Knowledge. And what is that knowledge? In the beginning of most of the civilization, there was a question. Say, that story that I told, how the creation came, and after that we are going back to the normal condition where the people in different parts of the world, they started their life, and different places, different condition. In India, it was little different. Why? Because of the Himalaya, because of the geographical condition. We, the Hindus, we worship Himalaya. Devasthana. Why the Devasthana we say? Deva Bhumi. Why the Deva Bhumi? Because the Himalaya, it helps us a lot. Himalaya It is protecting us from the chill wind that is coming from the north. I don't know whether you have visited the other parts of the Himalaya or not. It's terrible. I once went over there. From Nepal you can go, that's a place called Jamsam. And if you go from, it is in the Nepal, from Kathmandu, if you go to Jamsam, completely different world. The terrible chill, you cannot imagine. And the strong wind. And no greeneries, nowhere. That is the condition. And India was protected by the Himalaya. Himalaya protected that, and at the same time, the hills, it stopped the flowing of the air, carrying the water-laden, and it came over there, and it got struck over there and started raining. All these clouds that carried the water from the southern breeze, that started raining over there. And these rains created the rivers. Now Himalaya is standing in one place, protecting us, protecting the India from the chill wind, and at the same time is stopping the rain-bearing clouds and helping to start the rivers. 7 main rivers. Now in the Hinduism you will find they will always give the respect to the Himalaya. At the same time, they will go on taking the name of 7 rivers. I said many a times, Gangecha, Jamuna Chaiva, Godavari, Saraswati, Narmade, Sindhu, Kaveri, Jalismin Sannidham Kuru. When the priest is purifying the water, he goes on very quickly, he will be chanting and we think some Sanskrit mantra. What is this mantra? 7 rivers only. And these 7 rivers fertilizing the whole land. And that is the main thing. The economy, it developed. And obviously, after that, when the people, they were satisfied with the food, with the clothing, and at the same time, they were having a very good life, they turned to the philosophy. And one person who was very successful, he came and he asked this, Kasminnu bhagavo vigyate sarvam idam vigyatam bhavatiti. He is asking to a senior person, a teacher, Bhagavo means, O Lord, O teacher, can you please tell me how I should know everything by knowing one? Look at it. He is not asking how I should know everything. He is asking, by knowing one, I can understand everything. That was the search. Kasminnu bhagavo vigyate. How I will know sarvam idam, all these. Sarvam, everything. Idam, these. Vigyatam bhavati iti. Is it possible? That was the search. Search for the one. The Hinduism has no creator. It's very peculiarly, Hinduism is not having any creator. Hinduism is a search. And because of this, the research, they came out with the truth. The mystery of birth. And that is the Jigyasa one. Jigyasa means question. I made it in this way. 2 lives coming together, creating another life, 3rd life. So that we know. And a fruit falling from the tree, germinating and creating another tree, again the fruit is coming. We know this circle. But the creation out of 2 and making many is subject to destruction. Whenever these 2 coming together and creation is coming, 3rd is coming, but he is going to die. It is going to die. That is called the scientific observation. The Hinduism began with this scientific observation. First, they started with this. So how this creation comes, so obviously, is everything temporary? Knowledge of transition proves the existence of the static thing. The moment we are able to understand that things are changing, that means we know something is static. Unless we have the concept of the one that is static, that is there all the time, we can never compare the changes. So this also came. Second, jigyasha. Jigyasha means the question. What is that permanent one? Creation needs intellect and also the material. These are two separate things. Two means collision, and collision means destructions. So obviously, if the two are there, one is intellect, another is the material. So when they are coming together and they are getting the conflict, their collision is there and they are being destroyed. Then what is the permanent one? We are searching the permanent one. So search is going on in this way. First, birth. And second, the two. The creation needs one intellectual and other material. And the material and intellectual, they are coming together. Who created that intellectual one? Who created that matter? How they came in contact? The third jigyasha. What came first? Is the intellect, Chaitanya, or the matter, Jada? In Sanskrit it's called Chaitana and Jada. Now I am Chaitanya and this is Jada. And some people, they make a lot of fuss, making, oh, why you are eating this, why you are eating that. Why, you know? They will be telling, when you are eating a fish, that means you are killing a life. But what about the plants? That is also life. Just because you cannot see them suffering, the expression is less. You think, oh, I am very holy person, not killing anyone. Every step that you are taking, you are killing hundreds of hundreds. The different type of things that is living in the atmosphere. By that way also, what you will do? So we have to be very clear. We will come to that afterwards. It says that the material and the intellect, but who came first? The material came first or the intellect came first? Intellect is the Chaitanya and material the Jada. If intellect, the consciousness, how consciousness can produce material, Jada? Can consciousness produce the Jada? If it is it possible? If matter came first, then it can never create the consciousness. From the matter, consciousness cannot come. So these are the questions that was haunting the the minds of India, very ancient times. Then Jigyasha 4, they were searching outside. What is this life? The combination of the two and creation of the three. And if that is so, everything is going to die because all these are combined. Then came, what is this Chaitanya? What is this Jada? What a consciousness is there. At the same time, inertness is also there. How it is there. And finally they come and they turn to this. In the Upanishad we find Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmana nirveda maya akrita kritena. After examining the external, the nature, the air, the earth, the fire, the water, everything they examined. And they were not finding anything that is permanent. So all these examinations were going on, experiments were going on, only to find something which is permanent. And finally they turned to themselves Kaschid dhira prattakatmanamaikshat abritta chakshu amritattamichan. Then a few intellectual ones, to get that eternal knowledge, they turn the concentration, the whole focus on themselves. And they started asking, who am I? Ko ayam. Who am I? From where have I come? Kuto ayata. What is my ultimate goal? Where I am going to go? Ultimate goal, kahaba gati me. So these are the three questions now they are asking. And when they started asking these, they discovered that they are the combination of the two. This body, the mind, they're all jada, they're all inert. But inside that, there is consciousness. That was the great discovery. And when they found that eternal one, this is the consciousness that is traveling from body to body. This is the consciousness that is, when come together, is the ultimate consciousness, supreme consciousness from which everything has come. The moment they discovered this, they became so happy and they started almost singing. Srinnantu vishye amritasya putraha. Listen to me. The children of eternal bliss, that is the discovery. They say that we are the children of eternal bliss. And when we say that we are the children of eternal bliss, that means eternal. We are not changing. That means bliss, that full of joy. Then why you are suffering? This is another question coming. So this is Hinduism. No Krishna created Hinduism. No Rama created Hinduism. Then who created Hinduism? Oh, the rishis created Hinduism. How they created this? It is not man-made. It is a truth that was already there and they discovered it that much. Has anyone created the law of gravitation? No, it was already there. It was only discovered. That much. So similarly, the Hinduism is that it is already there, only it was discovered. And this, they started the examination, the pariksha. What is that pariksha? The great minds of the ancient India began the search for two lines. First one, what is the jada, unconscious matter, and what is the consciousness, that is Chaitanya, and their pattern of creation, existence, and dissolution. These two are there. One is jada, another is Chaitanya. Now the jada, the unconscious, and the Chaitanya, the conscious, how they were created, how they are existing, and how this dissolve. Where they go after the dissolvement, what happens? So that is very important. When we were children, sometimes after the rain, we used to see that the rain water by the side of the road, the rain water is flowing. It's a little open drain. And naturally, curiosity where this water is going. Some of us, they used to put up their shoe and they'll be floating that. And the shoe is flowing, and we used to run along with that. Where the shoe is going, this is the curiosity. Where the end? And when they go, ultimately, maybe the shoe goes under some cover thing, and we lost the shoe. And then when he came back home and got the scolding from the mother, why you have lost the shoe? So, but the curiosity, human mind always have that type of curiosity. Where it goes, ultimately where we go. So each and every one, they are interested to know after death, what happens after death. So some of our Swami has given a talk, what happens after death. I don't know what he said. I didn't listen that. But So many people already listen to that because the curiosity, what happens after death? Because we do not know. So this is the way always, the pariksha, the examination, that went on, and afterwards it came in such a way that this is the Hinduism. How they came to know? Now I will talk about a little philosophy. The cause and the effect. We, the living being, the human being, we are having two together. What is that? That tree that is also having two together. That animal having two together. What is this two? Jada and Chetana. What is Jada? Inert. What is that? This body. And Chetana, the consciousness. And they started experimenting. So what happens when the Chetana goes away? The body lives over there. And how it works? It works through 5 organs. The 2 eyes, 2 ears, and the nose, and the tongue, and the touch. These are the 5 organs. They are collecting different information. And how this information coming? From the rupa, rasa, shabda, sparsha, and gandha. This gandha is for the nose, not for the ear. And the rasa is for the tongue. And similarly, the rupa, the form, is for the eye. So this is the way the 5 objects and 5 enjoyers. Who created? If you create something and there is no one to come and see and appreciate, then you feel rejected. Oh, why I should cook, there is no one to eat it. And why I should draw, because there is no one to see it. So obviously there must be someone who is enjoying. The creation, there must be an enjoyer. Who created these 5 things? And who is the enjoyer? So this is Hinduism. We simply think that we will go and have a tilak, and then some incense takes bus, the old Shivji ki, Ganesh ji ki, this is Hinduism. No. That is only very basic of Hinduism, primary of Hinduism. Hinduism is going deep to this knowledge. And Hinduism, I am using the word Hinduism because that is popular. Exactly, it should be the Vedic Dharma, that this Vedic Dharma is based on knowledge only. And this knowledge is analysis, analysis, and analysis. Each and everything. Now, I create something for the enjoyment of the someone. Suppose we are making some garden. Why? I should enjoy the flower and all that. And after that, with a cup of tea, we go and sit outside, we enjoy the flower and see that the butterflies are coming, and I enjoy that. So that everything must be an enjoyer. When the nature has created all this, and what are all these? 5. It is not millions. Though we see it as millions, it is only 5. And this 5 has an enjoyer. Who is enjoying? I. I seize that flower. Really? I seize that flower? The dead body is also having an eye. If you bring the dead body before the flower, will the dead body appreciate that? No. Similarly, the dead body is missing something which all the 5 organs, even if the body is having, eyes are there, ear is there, nose is there, tongue is there, but still it cannot enjoy. Why? Something is missing. What is that? There is a story. There's a lot of the commotion in the family. The I was telling, look, I am the head of the family. Because if I don't see, you cannot move. All others challenged. No, you cannot be. Okay, I am leaving. So he left the body, and after 1 month came back, he found everything is okay. He is eating and moving, and hey, how could you do it without me? When you left us, we became blind only. But everything was all right. Then the ear told, hey, I am living. I am the master. If I go away, you cannot move without me. Then there is, no, it is all living. Only I couldn't hear. That's all. I could see, I could taste, I could touch. Only I couldn't hear. Similarly, the nose, similarly, the touch, everything, one after another. Then finally, the prana. They call it prana in Sanskrit. The vital force, which is that life. It says, well, I am now leaving. The moment it got up, immediately they understood, without him we cannot. So they accepted him as the master. That is the story, and that means it goes to the subtle prana. And this prana is the ultimate. But how the prana is acting? There must be something which is forcing it to act. Then they went further research, and they found out there is some power which is reflecting from somewhere and activating this prana. It is reflecting from somewhere, and that is the power. When all these things are there, but if the electricity is not acting, then everything, all these lights, these shades, everything will be there, but it is not functioning. How it will go? So this is the way we have to understand that there is something which is beyond this. Then one student came to a teacher and asked, Sir, how it is? I cannot control my mind. I cannot control my eyes. I cannot control my ears. Whatever I am trying to control, somebody else as if, using my eye, using all these organs, as if they are not mine. Then the teacher said, behind the mind there is another mind. Behind the choke there is this eye, there is another eye. Sotrasya sotra, manaso manoyat, bachoha bacham, sayu pranasya pranaha. Again, that is called Upanishad. And Upanishad is Veda. They do one research and they come out with a beautiful story and they give the truth. And ultimately, they realize there is something called consciousness. And it is all pervading. This all pervasiveness, everywhere, this consciousness, that they gave the name Brahman. Not Brahma, it is Brahman. This Brahman means all pervading consciousness. This consciousness is reflecting on our buddhi, on the intellect. Reflecting, it is not true. And that reflection is so powerful, we think that we are conscious. And that consciousness activating our ego. And that ego, in its turn, is asking all our sense organs to work for it. And so, who is the master? Now, this is the question we will leave over here. And then in our next class, we will take up from there. Who is the true master? Our consciousness, which is the reflection, but it is not real. Even then, the reflection, it is so real, as if real, it gives a feeling that I am, and that is called ego. I gave all the time the example, when the sunlight is coming, and if you take it on a piece of the glass or a piece of mirror, it will be reflecting, and it will create the light also. And everything that the sun is doing, almost that, but in a microcosmic that stage, it will do that. But it is possible. So what is this discovery? Discovery that there is a consciousness which is all-pervading, which is Brahman, which has created everything, both intellect and at the same time the matter. And there is nothing like matter. There is no question of matter. Everything that comes to that intellect, ultimately. How the matters and all this, slowly we will come, and then we have to go through the philosophies. But then we will try to understand why the three schools came, why they wanted to teach us in a three different way. I think we should stop over here, but as our tradition, if you have any question on this, we can try to. Yes, please. Yeah.
I am Vilas Dikshit from Thane, India. I have also read many books. Every book speaks about consciousness and superconsciousness, mind, body, intellect and all that. But at least today, no one has, because I have not come across who will tell us how to reach to that consciousness or superconsciousness. Is there any process or is there any practice which will help us to reach to that consciousness or superconsciousness? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. The first thing is, you are admitting that there is a consciousness and also there is a superconsciousness. You are admitting that, right? Consciousness and superconsciousness. The second, how this consciousness can reach to the superconsciousness. There are processes like this. If you think that the consciousness that you think within yourself or being is like the reflection of the sun on the water, and water is containing, the different pots are there, full of water, and the consciousness, that means the sunlight is reflecting. Just imagine, there are some pots are there full of water, and the sun reflection is there. Suppose you break one. The sun, the reflection of the sun that was there in that water, where it goes? Naturally to the original. So the consciousness that we talk about, this is all reflection of the superconsciousness. The moment we understand this, we are free, mukta. This much only. That's why in they say in a nicely that scripture, Mana eva manushyanam karanam baddha mokshaya. Mana eva, the mind, is the cause of bondage and freedom. The moment you think that I am free and I am not bound at all, I am not attached with anything of this world, I am pure consciousness, immediately that imagination that I am a male, I am a female, I am a Brahmin, I am a non-Brahmin, I am educated, uneducated, all this goes away. It is only consciousness. And you see that consciousness reflecting from the supreme consciousness, superconsciousness. And when you break that, that means the container, this body, it goes back to, and it's called mukti. That is going and mixing with the Supreme. It was never ever there. Now, only we are imagining. This is the path of jnana, knowledge. And if you think that that is separate and I am separate, then you have another method, another process. That then you don't call the supreme consciousness and consciousness. You call the Ishvara and Jiva. The Ishvara, the supreme being, and the Jiva, individual being. Now these two again, they separate. And how can I go over there? By cultivating the qualities that the Ishvara is having. What is the Ishvara's quality? Love and unselfishness. Ishvara means God, Bhagavan. That is love and unselfishness. If you can cultivate these two, love and unselfishness, you will go to that same region. But some of these devotees, they like to be near God. They don't like to be God. So Salukya, Sayujya, Sarupya, all these stages they say. But if you like to be, you can go and merge with that. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he gave an example that a doll made of salt went to measure the depth of the ocean. And what happened? The moment the doll went to the water, it became again melted and became the water. Who will come back and give the reply? So ours is also that. To your question, consciousness, super-consciousness, I am aware about the consciousness. How to go to super-consciousness? Two paths, devotion and knowledge. If it is knowledge, think yourself just a container and the reflection is coming. Break this container, think that you are nothing, immediately you are mixing with that. If it is totally different, God is different, I am different. Now God has some qualities, that is love and unselfishness. I develop that love for everyone. And I don't want anything in return. You become God yourself. As Swami Vivekananda said, unselfishness is God. The moment you become unselfish, you are God yourself. Thank you. Good question. Any other question? Hey, you write questions and now sitting. She's a store of questions.
Thank you. So in Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna is saying that Prakriti is doing its job, and so technically Prakriti in a form in Tantric, it's Mahamaya. Mahamaya is Ishvara. So then I'm having a trouble with that. So if I go by Vedanta, that you are that, but then if I go by Prakriti, then eventually it comes back to Vedanta.
Yeah.
So if you can clarify that.
See, these are the terminologies you are using, and that is the problem with the Hinduism. They have used so many terminologies, But other religions, they are very straightforward. The God and the people and this is the bad thing, this is the good thing. And if you hold the hand of this God, you will go to heaven. If you are not, you will go to hell. That's straightforward. But ours is so many philosophies and so many terminologies. Now the Prakriti, what is that Prakriti? Nature. What is this nature? Again, only terminology changed, but the actual thing is same. It is the Sattva, Raja, Tama. These are the three qualities that form the Prakriti. And this Prakriti, this term, is used by Samkhya philosophy. And Samkhya, of course, say that it is a completely separate entity than the God. But the God using this Prakriti to work. So this is the way it happens. Vedanta says same Prakriti as Maya, but it is not separate entity. It is attached with the God, power of God. This difference only, Samkhya and Vedanta. And again, that Maya is having Sattva, Raja, Tama. And another two things, two power, to cover the real entity and superimpose on that something else. By this way, it goes on. Vedanta is very correct in that way. The same thing, some people, the 2-3 people, if they are looking at the same thing, they will say in a completely different manner. Why? According to their imagination. So obviously, that there's a beautiful story that something was there, the one thief came out early morning and he saw that, oh my God, it is true. The newly appointed police officer is very active. To catch me, it is sitting over there covering the white chadar, the wrapper. And he left. A monk came. And he was supposed to go to bathe and he saw the same thing. Oh my God, look at me, fie at me. I am too late. Look at that holy man. He has already completed the bath in the river and meditating on God. I have lost my time. Same thing. Third, one lady came to go to her paramour and looked at oh my God, that man loves me so much. And in this cold, in this mist, he is waiting for me. And what was that? A dry piece of wood. And that was covered by the mist. But 3 people saw the same thing and they thought in a 3 different way. Why? Because we imagine and we think in that way. And that is called Maya. Maya, it is not there, but we think that it is there. So your question, this Prakriti, this Maya, whatever the way you can understand, but there is something which is playing with our mind. Why? Because our mind is made of these 3 things, Sattva, Raja, Tama. And now God again, He comes and He advises us through the scripture, through the Guru, that you should go for the best. And what is the best one? Best is the Sattva. And what is Sattva? Truthfulness, love, purity, unselfishness, broad-mindedness. These are all Sattva. What will happen? The more you are cultivating those qualities, you are closer to God. Because God is also having, it's not Brahman, it's not the Vishnu, the Supreme Being, it is God. But God is also having these qualities. He is having the bad qualities also. But He can suppress the bad qualities, it is under His control. We cannot. So we have to give up and go for the best one. And ultimately, the moment your mind is full with that is called purity, the real knowledge will reflect on that. And this same thing happened in the minds of Jesus Christ. When it happened, He cried out, I and my Father in heaven are one. See that. Same thing happened long before Jesus to the rishis. And they said, Aham Brahmashmi. And this is the way everyone realized. The I am that. That I doesn't mean this body. This some bones, some marrow, some blood and skin. Not that. That I is consciousness. And what is the result of that ultimately? Joy, eternal joy. What I am going to do after realizing God? Am I going to become the President of America? No. You are going to have the joy, the eternal joy, eternal happiness. And nothing of this world can give you. Thank you. From the next class we will continue and we will first take the Dvaitism, duality, and second, we will Tantra, how the Tantra is approaching to the truth, and finally Vedanta. So let us say Shanti 3 times and we conclude. Om Shanti. Please repeat. Shanti. Shanti. Harihi Om. Thank you, friends. Thank you for coming. And you must be knowing that in the next month, there will be a spiritual fest from the 14th onwards. The 14th, there will be the inauguration of the Parliament of Religions. A lot of countries, people are coming from different countries, more than, I think, 85, 87 countries, and more than 500 presentations, different cultural, religious, the presentations will be there from 14 to 18 in this Macaronic Place. But to go over there, you have to purchase a ticket that cost 175 for a day. But for all the 4 days, it is, I think, 400, something like that. And if you like to purchase one-day ticket and go through us, then you will get $50 less because the Vedanta Society is there. So you can think about that. Vedanta Society is going to present a standout program, and 4-5 Swamis are coming to give the talk on that day. So on 18th from 1 to 2:30, 1.5 an hour. Please come and join that. One Swamiji is coming from Belur Math, our headquarters, and other 3 Swamis like Kripamayananda, Tyagananda, Sarvapriyananda, all they will be here. So please come and have their company. Thank you. On 15th, we will go for one-day retreat to our Michigan, that is called Ganges. Finville, that is the village, but Ganges. There we will have a discussion on Vivekananda's contribution on Indians' freedom movement. Because that is the 15th August is the Independence Day for India. So, and the Swami coming from India, so I thought that will be a good idea to listen from him. We will go have the potluck lunch over there and then come back again. 17, 18, we will be going around attending the Parliament of Religion. On 18, we will have a standard program. 19th morning, we will have a program over here itself. All these 4 Swamis, they will be here, and you must have seen, and we will also forward all this information. And 19th evening in the Hindu temple Lemont, and 20th morning at the Homer Glen. So whole week will be the spiritual fest. Thank you.